All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get ready to do this install on the Sea-Doo. We're adding pods to it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pod right now. We've already got our we've already removed our old pod. We removed the plastic. To do that, you're gonna remove this screw here. This clip, this whole piece pops up, okay? And allows us to get to these two screws behind here to get this piece off. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put this back on, okay? And we're gonna slide our pod in there. I've done some marking right now. We'll show you what that's all about, okay? So what I want you to do, I want you to put our pod's gonna fit right in there. Now, it's gonna fit, it's gonna butt up against this, okay? If you want to, you can actually take a little piece of EVA foam and put it in between here. I've already put a little piece here, but we're just mocking it up. It's not completely going on right now. So what I'm gonna do though, is I'm gonna put it here, and I've already marked it so you can see. If you come over here, you can see the lines. Everything looks pretty good, okay? And now we're gonna get ready to drill a couple holes. This is probably the scariest part of the whole thing, because once we start, we're not stopping. Now what's gonna happen is inside of here, we're gonna have some holes already pre-drilled for you. So you'll just mark it and drill it. Unfortunately, it's the first time we're doing this. So I don't have the holes. So we're gonna make them ourselves right now. So basically, you're gonna go in, and what we're trying to do, by the way, is we're trying to drill, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna try to drill into this part right here. This is where we want our thread start, somewhere around here, okay? And somewhere around here. We want two thread starts here, and we're gonna put a thread start down here. So I'm gonna show you, we're gonna put it in there. We're gonna look where we're drilling. I see one right here. We wanna go into this little side area right here. I'm gonna drill a pilot hole first, okay? And you can already see right there, I'm right where I need to be. This little hole right here is gonna be what we're going into. So let's go ahead and continue drilling. Okay. All right. All right, we're through. That's the worst part of this, guys. All right, now what we're gonna do is I'm going to get a larger drill bit, and we're gonna get a 3/8 inch drill bit. I'm actually gonna remove this foam so you guys can see it a little bit better. I stuck it down pretty good. What we're gonna do is we're gonna drill a 3/8 inch drill bit right here, and that's going to give us room to put our, there's a little hole right there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and drill this all the way through, and I'm going to go ahead and remove this for now. We'll put this on later. All right, so we've got our little area here. Now, what Sea-Doo likes to do, Sea-Doo just typically threads, they just drill into the fiberglass, okay? And they typically just use these big, really aggressive threads. We're using something like that, but we're gonna put a thread start in. So let me go ahead and grab that. We'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our 3/8 inch drill bit. I put some tape on there because I don't need to go very deep. I don't want to drill through this side over here. So I put a little tape on there, a little 1/2 inch. That's how deep we need to go, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, hold it level. Cuts very fast. Okay, there we go. That's how deep we need to go. All right, now I'm gonna get the thread start, and we're gonna put the thread start in there, okay? I like to do one, we'll mount it down with our bolt and everything, then we'll drill our other hole and mount it down. That way it doesn't move around. It's gonna be on and off a couple times with the pod. Let me go grab the thread starts, and then we'll show you how to do that. This is our little thread start right here. Whoops, now it's a wet thread start. Let that dry off. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna mix up a little, some epoxy. You can use any type. This is all the stuff you buy from like AutoZone, Harbor Freight, any of that stuff. Just wanna mix it up so we get it to come out. There we go. Just a little bit right here. Okay. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna put it on these threads or put it down in that hole over there. Just mix up a little piece here. Doesn't matter which one you use. I use the Gorilla Glue. This is a great one. This is just probably something I bought from Harbor Freight. So I just wanna mix it up good. Make sure it's all uniform color. Okay. And then what you're gonna do is, what I usually do is I'll take my bit. Got a little impact gun. Okay, put it on there. Take this, put it on the threads. Just a little bit, doesn't take much. Okay, all right. Come on over here. All right. And now we're gonna go ahead and put our thread starts in. So basically, so line it up on the hole, keep it straight. Slowly turn it in. That's it. Thread starts in. Just that easy. We're gonna do this other side here. I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing mounted up with one bolt and nut, and then we're going to mount this one. We'll show you what that looks like, and then we're gonna mount that, and then we'll be done getting with the pods. All right, it's pretty simple. Check that out. Yeah, just kind of like doing hyperlapse. I don't know how, are you getting recording of it actually drilling and everything?
I'm recording right now, actually.
Okay. I'm saying inside the hole. Get inside the hole here.
Okay. Okay, that's not what I did out.
There we go. Okay. Good job. All right. That's good for now. Okay, guys. So we got our first hole in. I mounted the speaker up. We went ahead and drilled our pilot hole for our second one. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this hole. Got the little piece of tape on there so I don't drill all the way through. This drill bit is extremely sharp, so you want to be careful. You don't want it to walk through. Get control of it. There we go. All right, blow it out. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put another thread start here. All right, we'll be right back. We'll show what it looks like when it's done. Okay. Good job. Okay guys, so right now we're gonna put our little 90-degree bracket underneath here. You'll have a hole here, we have a slot. This is our first print, or not our first print, but this is the one we figured out we're gonna use. So you're gonna have a slot, or you're gonna have a hole right here. I just want you to go through here, and I want you to bolt it up, just hand tight. Use the big washer and the bolt, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like before we put it on there. Kind of keep it like kind of loose so we can move it around. Okay, so like this. Okay, you're gonna put the washer. Okay, your hand in there. I do everything myself. All right, there you go. Okay, and then we're gonna put a nut. When we finally finish this nut, I want y'all to put some blue Loctite on this nut. The only reason I'm not putting blue Loctite on right now because I want to be able to take it on and off without having any problems. But when we do it, I'll probably send you a lock nut or a blue. You want to put a little blue Loctite on there. So just kind of tighten this up a little bit. Okay, so where you can still move it around a little bit, not super, just kind of hand tight. Okay, so look, I can kind of move it around. Okay, for now. Okay, we have a little bit of room there. All right, now what I'm going to do is we're going to put this up. So what I did here, I took a little bit of blue tape and I put it in here. The reason why we did that is we're going to mark this hole here and show us where we're going to put that hole, that third thread start. It's gonna be right in here somewhere, okay? But I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So first off, you wanna get it up in here, okay? And let's go ahead and let's not worry about that right now. Let's get these two bolted up here. We're gonna put 2 bolts up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt these up, get it in place, and then we'll adjust that down there. All right, we'll show what that looks like. Okay, so we've gone ahead and lightly put our hands in on this. The pod is pretty much already sturdy, but we want to get this bottom piece done. So remember that little L bracket we had underneath here, okay? So what I want to do is you want to push it up against the side, okay? And we're going to have a hole in the bottom. So we're going to mark it where we want to put it. So it's going to be somewhere around there, right there. Should be flush, okay? And I'm going to take my Sharpie. Okay, you can look underneath there and just mark it. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna take this back off one more time, and then we're gonna drill our hole and put our third thread start. You can see where our bolt is down here. Your hole may be in a different location, but you'll still be able to kind of slightly adjust it to hold it over. But that's just where we're gonna go for today, okay? And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be our bottom bracket that's gonna hold everything in, the stainless steel, okay? So go ahead and pull these out. I'm gonna drill that hole, and then we're almost done mounting the pods. Just that simple, guys. You won't have these extra holes in here, by the way. So, all right, we're gonna put this together. I'm gonna drill that third hole, show you that extra thread start, and get it ready to rock and roll. Okay, right there, we're gonna drill a hole. There you go. Okay, hold on, pull it back real quick. Let me think here. Okay, guys, so this tool right here, I use this tool every single day. We definitely highly suggest a tool like this. This is a Milwaukee brand. Harbor Freight sells them. Ryobi has one. Basically, and then we use a bit that looks like this. This allows it to snap in there. This is a drill bit. I highly suggest this for doing this here because this hole is very tight. Even with a small impact gun, if we had a small drill bit, a stubby, then we might be okay. Most people don't have stubby drill bits. Now, even with a stubby, it's gonna have to be super stubby. So this makes it easier. So what I do is I just put this on here. I use this bit all the time. Okay, look, I got plenty of room. Just hold it straight. There we go. That's what I suggest if you're gonna do this hole right here. This is gonna make your life a lot easier, guys. This bit right here, they have different ones, okay? That's gonna be what's gonna make this your life. Definitely wanna do this, okay? All right, clean up this hole. We're gonna get that other thing in there, all right? Okay, guys. Again, my 90-degree bit, okay? So this thing just makes life a lot easier. Put it in, line up your hole. Go. Okay, I'm gonna put a little piece of EVA foam right here. That's gonna go in between the pod and the speaker. That way it kind of, we don't see the screws going through here. So I'm just gonna measure a little piece here. Okay, like right here. Okay, all right, you'll see what I'm talking about. So put it right here. Actually, I didn't cut it long enough. I'm only human, guys. I'm only human. Let me stick it down first, then cut it. Okay. I want to go right here, this edge, to this edge, and just put it on the edge right here, guys. Make it nice and clean. Okay. This is gonna look good when we're done. All right. Go ahead, cut this. Okay. Up here. All right. Now. Okay. This is to make it nice and look nice and clean, okay? Make sure you clean it real good with some alcohol right there so it sticks down good. And what's gonna happen is once we bolt this thing down, it's not going anywhere, okay? All right, so we're good there. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this tape because I didn't need it. I totally missed it. We've got thread certs in. We're good to go. Okay, now we're actually gonna be mounting the amplifier behind here. So that'll be first. We're gonna take all this off. I'm gonna mount the amp. I'm gonna do all that. I'm gonna put the pod on. But because we're already here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what it looks like now that the pod can be mounted. Okay, so we've already got our big washers and our screws mounted in. Okay, if you notice over here, the EVA foam is pinched down. It looks really nice and clean. This thing is already super solid. Okay, but now we're gonna finish it up. So now we have our little bracket here. It's still kind of moving a little bit. So we're gonna line it up. You want it to be loose. And we're gonna go under here. We're gonna line up a little hole. Our thread cert. Put our screw in. Okay, this in. Almost there. Now this is gonna be like the last thing you do. We gotta mount the amplifier first, okay? So, but we're showing you how it looks right now. A really long screw, probably a little shorter screw. Don't have to screw as much, okay? I'm only gonna hand tighten it, guys. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. So I'll get it on there. All right. Now we're tight. And remember, guys, this is not crank them in. This is get them hand tight and snug. If you want to put a blue Loctite on them, I love that idea. So now our bracket is right here. We're gonna tighten this up with our nut and our bolt. Again, a little blue Loctite once we're done. And go ahead and try to grab that pot out here. Oh yeah. That's the sturdiest that thing's ever been. This whole ski is moving. We're good to go. Now we're mounted down. Again, you won't have these slots in here, guys. So we're gonna have the holes already drilled for you. So just keep an eye out for that. And then here, we should have the holes already drilled for you here. But if not, you saw what I did. I just lined it up, drill a small hole. But everything looks good now. I'm gonna go ahead and remove everything. And we're gonna do the other side. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to mount the amplifier. And then we can put the pod on. if we have a hole, if we don't have a hole, but we should have a hole in the back here so you can pull all your wires through, guys. This is going to be where your speaker wire comes through. It's a very small hole, and then we're going to seal it all up, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, guys, when you're putting this in there, you just want to put them to where they're flush. You're not trying to strip these. Your impact gun's going to give you a little bit of fight. It's going to be just slowly put them in until they're nice and flush. We're not trying to hammer them out. It's okay if the epoxy resin comes out a little bit. We're not worried about that. That's actually good. We want it to nice and seal up. And typically I let these dry while I'm trying to do everything else. So we've got these two in. We're going to get their other one here with our special bit, and we're going to keep it moving. Okay, so now we've got our thread certs in on both sides. We're going to go ahead and get this front panel off. To get this front panel off, you got two 8mm, one right here and one right here. The whole thing will slide forward. This is going to allow us to run our speaker wire from one side to the other. I found this to be the fastest and easiest way. Just two 8mm and zip it up, run it across the front, and then we're going to run it from here. The amplifier is going to mount right here, so we're going to run some speaker wire to the sit down, give us enough length to work with, and then we're going to run it over to that other pod too. And then that'll be the next part. So we've got our one wire drop down right here. Remember to give yourself a little room. We got plenty of wire. So what I did is I run it up through here. I come up through this little side piece right here. I put a little bit of wire loom here because when you open your hood, you can see the wire in here. So this just kind of cleans it up. You can also use like Testa tape. And then you just run it over here, run it in this little slot. Okay. Then you're gonna come around to the other side, run it in the slot. Same thing, a little bit of wire loom is gonna come out over here. Our amplifier is going to go here, so we got plenty of room. We don't want to cut this wire yet, okay? We want to get it to where it goes in the amp, and then we can cut the wire and then build the other one. We got plenty of wire though, okay guys? So hopefully that helps. Sorry if it's a little loud. Okay, first of all, I apologize for the noise. I'm out here recording, I'm sorry. So the amplifier, I like to mount right here. You want it to be a little bit lower than that little edge so the thing can slide in. And what I found is that if you push this edge right here, about an inch, let me see here, hold on. Sorry. Okay. About an inch and a half from that edge, the side panel will fit without any problems. It's a tight fit, but it does fit, okay? I like to mount this up with just the screws for now to hold it in place while I'm gonna actually put a nut and a bolt through here. But this is gonna give you an idea of where it goes. Just try to measure like from this little edge, this little corner piece, to about an inch and a half. And then also this bottom piece is sitting on the edge right there. It's kind of going straight across. Okay, that's gonna work for you, no problem. Okay. Okay, if you're using our BTR20, which is our Bluetooth transmitter, you're gonna wire it up to this plug that goes off the amplifier right here. Okay. Basically, black goes to black. Okay. Yellow goes to yellow. Okay. The only thing they did weird here is the remote. So there's a blue remote out, and it goes into the red remote in. That's what turns it on. Now, what turns this on is this wire right here, this red wire. If you have factory sound, you're not gonna use this. So this is only if you have aftermarket sound, okay? Now what we're gonna do is this would be what you would put in line. You would hook this up to a toggle switch and send power to this. We have a little light up 3-pole power switch we're gonna put on this one. So that's gonna get the remote in. So this is what's going to turn on. So this little switch, when I hit that power, it's going to power up this red wire, and the red wire is going to power everything else up. You could ground everything and power everything from this wire right here for this button. So if you have this button, the way it works is the bronze or the gold piece is the ground. The top one is positive, and the middle is your switch wire, okay? So remember, this is AC, remote in, that's your switch wire. Okay, so I'll show you again what it looks like once we're done putting it all together. It's pretty simple. Just make sure to put all your wires together before you connect them all together. Okay. Okay, also, if you're gonna use a button like this, we need to make sure that it's clear of any of this stuff. So what I did is this is kind of like the area the button's in, because you don't want it to be able to stick out. Okay, so if you notice where I put the button, it's kind of like perfectly lined up with this bolt. The reason why I put the button here is one, it clears this area on the other side, and also we have a big area right here, so the wires can be on the back side. If you put this any further this way, it's going to hit the panel, and same way if you put it that way. So you kind of have to find that sweet spot. Typically, it's right kind of lined up with this screw if you're going to put a little switch right here, okay? And that's where we put it. And then these screws will be nuts and bolts here soon. So just wanted to keep that in mind. So if you're going to put a little switch here, just kind of line it up with this bolt, and that's going to be away from this piece because you don't want it to hit this when it's coming down. So hopefully that helps you a little bit if you're using our Bluetooth receiver. Okay, so I've got it wired up. I know it looks like a mess right now, but I go ahead and I put the Bluetooth controller right there, and it's hidden away from everything, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these wires, we'll get them all zipped up. Once I get them all zipped up, it'll look nice and clean in here. We'll put all the wires underneath here, and we're gonna put some heat shrink on our pieces here, and then once we zip up all these wires, we'll be good to go. It'll look a lot cleaner. And like I said, these are gonna be our little wires that poke out. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably do something like this to keep it nice and tight. So it's kind of, you know, that's what you want to do, is keep it out of the way of everything else, okay? So we'll probably end up doing something like that. I'll get some really strong tape and hold it right there. Also, if you notice, I put my amp on upside down because our controls are over here and I want to be able to get to those controls. So it should be pretty simple, but we're going to go ahead and get this thing cleaned up, and then you'll start seeing everything. But I will say, what I like to do before I zip everything up, I make sure that everything works, and then zipping it up is the very last thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my power wire ran through here. It's already ran through. We're gonna get that hooked to the battery, and then we're gonna test everything and make sure we're working. Okay, so we're gonna test our amplifier. So what you wanna do is you wanna probe your wires. This is gonna be the green and purple wire. That's gonna be my right side speaker over here. Okay, the gray and white wire is going to be your left side speaker, but you want to make sure that it says bridge positive and bridge negative, okay? Bridge positive, bridge negative. Same thing with this one. Bridge positive, bridge negative. I just told you what they were, okay? So the left speaker is going to be the green and the purple and black, okay? And the right speaker is going to be the white and the gray and black. Don't worry about what it says left and right. You're not going to use these other wires. You're going to put those up. Another way you can tell is the bottom 4 wires. If you're looking at the amp, the bottom 4 on the back are the ones you're going to use, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to use your test tone that we have. It's the 1000 hertz test tone that I show you to download. You want to play that on repeat and turn everything all the way up. Volume's all the way up. Then I have an oscilloscope. So, but what you want to do is you want to basically go to 27 or 27 volts is where you want to be at. So I don't know if you can see that, it's getting a little blurry, but about 27 volts AC. Now you can see that I have a clean sine wave right here. You can actually see it on my oscilloscope. If I turn that up anymore, I'm going to cross clipping, because clipping will be when it kind of hits on this particular oscilloscope and it hits flat. So you want to be setting 27 volts AC on your voltmeter, okay? And that's going to be, but this just shows you that we have a clean signal. That means that we're running right now about 185 to 190 watts at 12 volts, because I know the battery on here was not at full 14 volts. What's going to happen is at 14 volts, your rate here will actually increase a little bit as well. And trust me, 1 to 2 volts here changes a lot, so don't get it twisted. But anyway, you can see it's a nice clean signal. 27 volts is going to be what you're going to use, and using your test tone. I'm testing the other speaker over here right now with the oscilloscope, but you want to test both of them, and you want to adjust the gains accordingly. The gains are going to be these 2 in the middle. You want to slowly turn them up until you get the voltage that you're looking for. It is extremely sensitive. If you turn these knobs past halfway, you're doing something wrong. You need to check your wires and do it all over again. Okay, now, once we've got all that done, then what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the crossovers, okay? The crossovers are going to be these little high-pass filters right here at the bottom, okay? A little hard to see. It's that blue light. Let me turn this off. Hold on. Okay, the amplifier is off. Okay, these are going to be the little high-pass filters, okay? You want to put them on high-pass. So wherever they're at right now, you want to swap them all the way the opposite of where they're at, because when you got them, they're full range, okay? So now they're all the way down. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to get my little camera in there, a little hard. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to adjust the crossover. We're going to listen to some music, and we want to adjust the crossover, and the crossover should be somewhere around 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock. So I'll show you kind of where it's at in here. It'll be easier. If I can show you, let me adjust this one, and I'm gonna show you kind of where you want to be. You want to be kind of like, if you're looking at it here, you want the thing to be pointed almost directly at you, and then a little bit more further. Okay, so that's gonna be how we do that. All right, ride safe, ride loud. Okay, I've actually painted the pieces so you can see it a little bit better, so you kind of see where it's at. So my crossovers are at 1 o'clock, so basically just turn a little bit past halfway. Okay, and if you notice, my amp is barely even turned up. Okay, that's because this puts out a good amount of voltage here, so it's barely turned up, but that's all you need to get the right volume. Okay, that's pretty crazy that it's that much. Anyway, ride safe, ride loud. Okay, so we've got everything zipped up. I got this little strong piece of tape here to kind of hold this wire down. This stuff works really well. There's nothing really pressure to put it on. I've got all my wires zipped up. Everything's clean. I can access my fuse if we need to check it. There's also another fuse right here we can access. We need to check that one. And then you zip everything up, make sure everything's clean. That way we don't have any problem putting this panel back on. But everything looks nice. Everything's zipped up. Everything's nice and tight. And I have a little bit extra wire here so I can pull through the pod. Okay. We haven't cut anything yet. This will hide when the pod goes on, and then that's going to be all we're going to do. Okay, remember I put this little piece of EVA foam here to kind of hold down, so it'll kind of look pretty clean. But I'm going to shove this through the bottom of the pod, and we're going to wire it up, and then we're almost done. Go ahead and put the side panel on, make sure everything fits, make sure nothing comes apart, make sure nothing catches. Okay, you're almost there. Okay, with the kit, we're going to go ahead and send you a couple little pieces of this EVA foam. Just put it in there, just kind of keep this from creaking and crackling all over that over there. Just kind of help make a small little barrier. We should be able to get you this little piece of EVA foam too. It's just going to basically help fill in that small gap so we don't see the screws. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to use this, but it just makes it look a little cleaner. All right. Okay, so you're probably wondering what this stuff was, this dyno mat. So we're going to cut little pieces, and we're actually going to fill these holes. These have extra holes. Yours won't have those. But we're going to put it over top of these bolts. This is really good about keeping the bolts from backing out. It also seals our pod where we put our speaker wire through. You can also put it here to keep this bolt from loosening, and we're also going to put it underneath there on that nut to keep it from backing out. This stuff is really good. It's like tar once it hardens up. So I'm going to give you a little sheet like this, cut it up, you know, and cover the bolts. I'll show what it looks like here in just a second. All right, so you can see we've got it all dynamitted up. Basically, it holds down the bolts. I have some extra sound deadening material that I use here. Yours is going to be pretty much this little sheet right here. So you'll just fill in. You won't have as many holes. I had to fill up some holes that I had here from our first print. And then also, if you see here, kind of hard to see, ran out of light, but we did get a little, that bolt covered up too. It just kind of helps keep these bolts from getting water in them. This also helps sound deadening, makes it very nice. All right, so we're almost done. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the piece. It's going to look like this. You want to go ahead and remove these screws with a little small Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, we're not going to be using those. Okay, remove those out. Okay, then what we're going to do, pops out like this. All right, pull that out. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our jet ski, and we're going to have to drill 2 small holes in here. We're going to actually mount it up something like this, but we're going to have to put 2 small holes on the bottom to mount it up. So I'm going to follow you over to the jet ski, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay, so what you want to do first is cut these little tabs off. This is going to be kind of where we're going to drill a hole through. So I usually take a little pair of side cutters. This is not the best ones. Use a razor blade too to cut them off. Okay, I'm going to drill a couple holes through there, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So get rid of those first. Okay, I'm going to drill some holes right on the back side of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like over there. We're going to drill into here kind of like a slow angle. So it's going to be something like this. When we're done drilling, it's going to be kind of like a small angle like that. And I'm going to show you. Come on over here, let's show you what it looks like. Okay, so right here, this is going to be the area we're going to be drilling into. This area right here. So this is going to fit up here just like this. Okay, it fits kind of like in a little groove. So you need to see the angle. So you can see the angle that we're going to be drilling into. Okay, so we're going to drill it in just like this. Okay, and that's all you have to do. So what I'm actually going to do on this one here is I'm actually not even going to drill a hole. I'm going to use this slot right here. I'm going to run my screw through the slot into this piece right here. Okay, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, all right, good. Yeah. Hey y'all, what's up? This is Dave from PWC Brackets. So we just wanted to bring to you, we've had a lot of questions about this. This is a CD we just finished doing with the 8-inch pods, and we're going to go ahead and show you our wireless button. This wireless button does work if you have factory sound and you don't have the controls up here. This allows us to give us handlebar controls. It's wireless. It will work with your factory system, or if you're using our Bluetooth transmitter. And the way it works is we have a piece that we've made, and right here, and it basically screws into these two small holes here, and it gives you this wireless button. I'll let Javier zoom in on it so you can kind of see what it looks like. And basically, that's how it works. The button you can take with you. You just remove it by unsnapping it, just like that. Okay, put it up, back into place, and we're good to go. Now you have wireless controls for your factory system or non-factory system if you're using one of our controllers. A pretty awesome update right there. Ride safe, ride loud.
Ready.
All right, from over here. From right here, Hey guys, so we got the 3-foot stick out. You guys know what that means? Decibel measurement time. The factory system on these is about 100 decibels. I'm guessing we're gonna get about 118, 117 decibels just based upon the amount of power we're running and what I'm familiar with my speakers. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Start out at 83, 3 foot from the speaker. Let's play a song and see what happens.
Suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Suave, bésame, bésame, suave, bésame otra vez. Yo quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Besa, besa, bésame un poquito. Suave, bésame.
All right, guys. 120 decibels. That basically means we're roughly 3 times louder than the factory system. For every 10 decibels, your mind typically reads it as almost twice as loud, pretty much twice as loud. So we went from 100 to 120. This is by far one of the loudest systems we've done so far. Ride safe, ride loud. You saw it here first. Peace out.
Prep.